Hi, Dwight.
Oh, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day.
It is. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It's a beautiful day in our cooking kitchen.
And I wanted to share with people, you made the most incredible quinoa, and I don't want to commit it to memory. I want to commit it to the public. Would you share with us? Share with us how you made it.
All right. Everyone always asks me for recipes. I don't have recipes. I just kind of do it. But I've been schooled in a good way with the quinoa. Red quinoa, the food of the Incas, royalty. Inca royalty. It used to be that only the royalty would eat the red quinoa. It has a different taste than the regular quinoa, I think.
It did, and texture.
Made quinoa, used some broth, some good broth, and made the quinoa. And then, what did I do? Oh, I sauteed some mushrooms. Krish had bought some wild mushrooms from her mom's place in France. They weren't chanterelles, they were something, morels maybe, dried morels, and then I had some shiitakes and some onion and some garlic. Sauteed that up. And some kale. Had this lacinate, really good organic lacinate kale, that bright green kale, and chopped that up, put that all sauteed. Mix that in, fold that in with the quinoa, and then I made a vinaigrette. I let it cool. It was lukewarm when I served it, but it could be served cold. Like the longer it sits, the more that the quinoa absorbs the flavors. Made a vinaigrette with olive oil, sesame oil, soy, some good tamari, various spices.
Oh, yes.
Various, but I don't even know what I put in. You know, in the moment.
What was the genre of the spices? Because they were very...
It was an Asian soy profile.
Okay. Marin.
Marin. Yeah,
yes.
you used Marin, sweet Japanese cooking wine. Marin.
Yeah.
That's right. I did
Okay.
use some.
Yeah, that's...
And some rice wine vinegar. Yeah, that was the vinaigrette.
Right, because it highlighted it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
it gave a high tone. Yeah, so we had the low tones of the sesame oil and the soys and stuff, and then we balanced that out with the high tones of...
So if you were to do it again and you had spices in front of you, what spices would you be sprinkling in?
Well, what I forgot, because we were right in the mix of putting together this big dinner, I was going to add black beans, which gives it another thing, and then I was also going to have, in the saute, I was also going to saute burdock. I had some really good burdock root. And the burdock root's an interesting root. It's kind of a nutty, almost meaty texture in a way, and it totally absorbs those flavors when you're using the soy and sesame. And I've done it before with that, so that adds another kind of a chewiness to it.
So would you give me a hint if you were to do it again right now in front of us, what spices you might add to it?
Yeah, I don't think I'd add any other spices.
Okay, so you didn't.
Yeah,
okay.
I did this. Yeah.
Because the flavorings of everything were good enough.
I think basically, yeah, soy, marin, sesame, salt, pepper.
Great. Honestly,
maybe a little chili oil in there or something.
Oh,
yeah, maybe. Yeah, just a little, it wasn't overall spicy, but I always like a little zest. Yeah.
So I want to say, Dwight, it was honestly the most delicious put together of quinoa or grain that I have ever tasted.
What?
Oh no, honestly.
Really?
Wait,
I didn't realize
honestly,
that. Wow.
Yes, I'm telling you the truth.
I'll make more quinoa for you.
You will make more quinoa for me. And I love the nuttiness of the red quinoa. I've never had anything like that. And
maybe you're like an Inca warrior woman.
So that threw me off base, kitty. So go home and look what you can do with quinoa. It was so much of an ancient grain and so beyond delicious. And you know what? The truth was, it was even better the next day. Who could have thought? So look at the choices you have in the kitchen. Go have fun.